Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Naresh Bhatt. He's a very good friend of mine and is a physician and currently, of course, retired. But he has extensive experience in terms of doing some volunteer work after retirement. And he has been very gracious enough to come and share with us how the volunteer work that he's doing is helping him almost as a psychotherapy. And in his situation, whatever is undergone, he will share that with us. And so I find that this will be maybe very helpful for us for the tool as a tool. So over to you, Dr. Bhatt. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm pleased to be with you. And Kalin Bhai is my very distinguished, very celebrated old-time friend and mentor. And I have learned a lot from him. I'm still learning a lot from him.
Go ahead. Tell us about your story and a little small background about yourself, and then go into the story as to what's going on.
I was MBBS from Mumbai, India, Sheikh GS Medical College and King Edward VII Memorial Hospital. And I was a student in late 1970s when I came across dear Kalin Bhai, and he has been my ideal, my model, role model ever since then. And he taught me the ABCs of medicine and clinical medicine, especially drawing blood from patients. And he taught me a lot of things that books don't teach, nor do professors teach. He gave me small pointers which went long ways in framing and shaping up my career. In 1972, I finished my training formally, and I was at KM Hospital. I came to America and I did my internship in New Jersey, Jersey City Medical Center. And then I did 2 years of fellowship in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in Montefiore Hospital. And then I had done another year of internal medicine residency in Brooklyn, New York, in Lutheran Medical Center. After that, I came to Pennsylvania, away from Pittsburgh, but close enough to Pittsburgh metropolitan area. I was in internal medicine practice for 19 years with a big group called Joseph A. Yablonsky Memorial Clinic in Fredericktown, Pennsylvania. And I joined the staff of Brownsville General Hospital, then Uniontown Hospital, Monongahela Valley Hospital, so on and so forth.
Okay,
And
good.
I stayed in practice until 2008, until I had an accident and I could not work any longer.
Mm,
Since then, I went into forced retirement.
mm.
And then I moved to Florida in Orlando in Shantiniketan 2 in 2015. I've been in this area in Tavares, Florida ever since then.
So you had some situation that really was not very happy situation, and which now you're handling it with what you're telling us about volunteer work, right? So go ahead and tell us the situation in brief, and let's hear you.
My wife was sick and she had been sick for many years and she got gradually worse. And after I quit my work due to my accident of my broken femur, I was no longer able to work as a physician and I turned into a involuntary caregiver, and I was doing caregiving until 2021. In April, when my wife passed away, I decided to pursue my passion because I didn't have anyone to take care of or care for. So I decided to turn my passion. I asked my God within, and He told me that what I do is take care of people who need me and appreciate me. So
Mhm.
I became a full-time caregiver. And ever since then, I've been a caregiver for 3 years and then I quit work, but I'm still doing volunteer work at the hospital near me, which is called Advent Health Waterman Hospital in Tavares. And for last 5 years, I've been a caregiver. And I am working right now in the heart station as a volunteer. I work 2 full days a week on Mondays and Friday. Sorry, Monday and Wednesdays from 8:30 to 2:30.
So you found something to do now. How has that been helpful to you?
It has helped me a lot of channeling my energy, both physical, mental, and emotional, into something very productive and very noble. Because even in Indian philosophy as well as American philosophy, serving God comes through serving people, and charity begins at home. So I have decided to do small things every single day in my community as well as in the hospital during my waking hours. I do something small or something big for people whom I'm with and around. And it gives me a lot of pleasure, a lot of true happiness, which I never had before. And I'm very thankful that it came through volunteering. And I love it more than anything else in the world.
So one small question I do have is, losing a spouse is always a very sad and very tough situation for anyone. And I'm sure you must have gone through some really tough times with that. And so tell us a little bit about that and how this particular volunteer work is helping you in that.
I wanted to do volunteer work ever since I came here in 2015.
Okay.
But my wife said, I'm sick and I need you to take care of me. So why don't you just do volunteer with me? And actually, she turned out to be my greatest teacher. And I learned actually the art of caregiving through caring for my wife. She
Bye-bye.
had a lot of multiple medical problems, both physical and emotional. And she also had a lot of fractures, and she needed a lot of care with activities of daily living. And that's how I learned the basics of how to care for somebody.
Hmm.
And I have learned a lot of things through informally taking care of her, as well as I did formal courses at the local uh, right at home agency where I worked for 2.5 years.
That's wonderful. So obviously, when life throws us situations as bad as what you did after the retirement from your own personal physical challenges and all whatever the accident that you were talking about, and then after that retirement, and these are the stressors in life. Accident is one, retirement is a second one, sickness of the spouse, and then losing a spouse. These are very major stressors in anyone's life on the stressor scales. And and it's interesting to note that you were given a sort of a opportunity, involuntary, you mentioned involuntary opportunity to really learn the volunteerism, etc., and that's been useful to you now. So when you applied that, um, how much do you miss your spouse, and how is this something that you're able to handle because of the volunteer work? Can you tell us a little bit about that, if you can do that?
It's a given that in our culture, wife is half your body, Ardhangini. So I miss her tremendously. There's no question about it. One very interesting thing I would say, since you asked me, is that there is one sort of a miracle promise that she has been keeping after she is no longer around. She has been coming to meet me every single night in my dreams.
How about that?
And maybe that might be considered a silver lining of my cloud of missing her. But she still keeps inspiring me even in my dreams after her absence. And she is inspiring me spiritually by being around me. And she keeps my creative bug alive. And she keeps inspiring me even after she's gone almost 5 years. That inspires me to keep doing some sort of artwork, whether it is writing a poetry or writing lyrics or painting. I got into a lot of artwork and I learned facial portraiting for 3 years after she was gone. And I'm channeling my energy into productivity through art. So, art is my therapy as well as music, which I've also kept up, including writing and singing and spreading cheer. and I have two motives in the Shantiniketan that I'm in. I'm emphasizing two E's. One E is educating. I do a lot of medical talks for the people I'm with. That's my extended family. I give them a lot of different talks on educational uh, topics in which are pertaining to senior health, as well as I am on the board of the directors here in Shantiniketan too for the last 2 years. And I continuously entertain people also by singing at different bhajans and all kind of events in all three Shantiniketans, 1, 2, and 3. So I feel that I'm highly productive and highly useful member of the society, and I continue to keep doing that until my last breath. And if I had God ask me my last wish, how I would want to leave the earth, I would like to leave the earth working in the hospital as a volunteer. At the time of work, I would like to say goodbye to the world while I'm helping someone.
Oh,
That's my
how
wish.
special, Dr. Bhatt, how very special. This is something a very, very special treat that everybody is getting from you, from the way you are handling this. It's very commendable that anyone who's gone through these three or four very, very high stressors, situations, and yet you've outlined many areas which anyone can really try and see if they can develop for themselves. And the last but not the least, you pointed out something very good, and that's something that I would believe is the one of the take-home messages for me myself is is to focus on someone else when you're helping somebody else, when you're focusing helping as a volunteer, and as you said, you want to leave being a volunteer in this world, and when you focus on somebody else, two things happen. Number one, you yourself lessen your own pain and miseries from the body and mind as well. And second thing that happens very fascinating is because the brain starts secreting what we call as happiness hormones, serotonin and oxytocin, they call it. These are the hormones that are actually increased when you start other focusedness, other somebody else's focus and not yourself. And so these are it just gives that kind of a pleasure that you mentioned. So I really appreciate your time with us, Dr. Bhatt, and I'm very sure that anybody listening to this will find many many nuggets in handling situations when the life really gets life gives you lemon, you make a lemonade. So that's one of
Right.
the things that we talk about. So I really appreciate your time with us, and thank you very much for this.
Can I say something to end our conversation
Sure,
today?
sure.
There is a song that I would like to quote. It's from a Hindi film. It's sang by Manna Dey. The name of the movie is Anurodh, and the lyrics of the song were very inspiring. And actually, it's interesting that you mentioned the fact that make lemonade out of the lemons that life gives you. My mother used to use exact same words, and that's what I had learned since childhood, and I believed in that because she was successful too. Now, what I wanted to say is that song is तुम बेसहारा हो तो किसी का सहारा बनो, तुमको अपने आप ही सहारा मिल जाएगा. एंड द सेकंड लाइन ऑफ द सॉन्ग इज कि कश्ती कोई डूबती किनारे पे पहुंचा दो, तुमको अपने आप ही किनारा मिल जाएगा. So I wanted to end the conversation with that beautiful song. You can hear it on YouTube, but the wordings are very, very touching and very true.
So when you start losing any kind of support, you become support for somebody else. And whenever the boat is sinking, you help that, and you will find the actual
Sure.
shore for the boat itself. And so helping somebody else, it helps you start helping you. The divine elements that work, they give you that kind of a support. Thank you very much. This was excellent. Appreciate
Thank
your
you,
time.
Dr. Bakshi, for this opportunity and being my mentor and my coach. And you have done wonders for my life. And I never forget your birthday. I never forget to wish you your happy birthday,
Thank you.
which
Thank
comes in
you.
the same month as mine.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.